Hi Reynas, how's it going? It's me, Vijay, Reyna, back at it again with another video. So now I have a video about Miss World. I know you guys have been waiting for a while, but I'll be honest with you, Miss World is very confusing to me. It's a competition that I just do not understand how to follow. I don't understand the system. There's so many different like talent shows, this, that. But anyways, I have a list of my favorites from this challenge. This challenge was just talking about beauty with a purpose. So I believe that it was legitimately the girls talking about beauty but with a purpose. So what is their purpose behind their reign? What is their purpose behind their crown? What is their advocacy really about? And that's what I kind of gathered from this competition, is that it was really about the advocacy and really understanding what these girls are passionate about. So I have a list right here of my favorites and my standouts. So to be honest, there were quite a few that were good and there were quite a few that were just okay. And I took a few things into consideration. I have about oh my god, Reynas, I almost busted my okay. Anyways, I have about 13. I have 13 girls who I felt like stood out, and I have a top three. So I'm not going to tell you guys the order of the other girls because they were all pretty similar, but there were three videos that really stood out to me that I really liked and that resonated with me personally. And I keep falling. So yeah, I'm also outside because it's a beautiful day. I wanted to be outside and I was really sleepy. I'm sorry that my videos have been a little bit off in terms of the timing. I've been taking so long to upload videos. There's a lot of life changes going on with me right now, and I know you guys don't care about that, so I'm not gonna get into it, but there's a lot of life changes. I've been having to travel a lot. I'm super tired between traveling and work, and so I just have not had time. This video is not gonna have a lot of editing either. It's just gonna be to the point, and yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys the 10 girls who I feel like that stood out, and I'll tell you guys my top three at the end. My top two tied in my scoring. So out of my top three, I'll tell you guys the third one, who kind of got like third place, I guess, on my list. And then for the top two, they were tied. So I'll just tell you who they are, and then I'll let you guys know that they're tied. What I looked for really was a combination of things, right? Because it is a challenge at the end of the day. So yes, I looked at the advocacy, but there's only so many advocacies that these girls can pick from, right? So a lot of them do overlap. A lot of the advocacies are the same. A lot of the advocacies like might focus on a certain topic that another girl focused on. Some of the advocacies, like several girls focus on them. And I did go through every single video. And I will say, if within the first 2 minutes, it did not capture my attention, if it did not make me really understand what was going on, like if you gave me a 10-minute video and in the first like 2, 3, 4 minutes I still did not understand what your beauty with a purpose was, I had to watch the 7-minute. I'm not doing that, because in reality, to me, most people, like when you're a queen, when you're a beauty queen, you need to capture the focus of your audience fast. You need to help them understand what your advocacy is, what you are doing, and what you are advocating for. And so that to me is important. And also the quality of the video. Quality of the video is not as important to me because I understand that not everyone has the same funding. So just naturally, not everyone's going to be able to produce some type of high quality videos. The most important thing to me was, how did the contestants talk about their advocacy? Were they genuine? Did they actually seem to like care about what they're talking about? Or was it like, I just needed something to have an advocacy for, so I decided to pick this. Does that make sense? Like if a queen was like advocating for mental health awareness, did they actually seem like they cared about mental health? Or was it just like, okay, I got to pick through a list of advocacies and I'm going to pick mental health? Does that make sense? So yeah. For my top, from like 13 through like 4, from 4 to 13, like the top 13 that are not in the top 3, I'm just going to say their names. And if there's something that like I really felt like stood out or something about their video that I truly liked, then I will mention it. Okay, so again, this is in no particular order. So we have none other than Batswana. So I liked Batswana a lot. I thought she was super genuine. I thought she was very natural in her video, and I just really appreciated her approach to her beauty with a purpose. And so for that reason, I ended up choosing Batswana as one of the contestants that I felt like stood out. Next, I had Dominican Republic. I really liked her advocacy. I really liked that she was advocating for breast cancer awareness and that she was really trying to essentially highlight an issue that is very, I guess, underrepresented within her community or within her country. Sorry, there's a whole bunch of little kids yelling. And so I really appreciated that. I was not aware of the breast cancer rates in Dominican Republic and how significant they actually were. So I think that she did not only pick an advocacy that clearly stood out to her and mattered to her, but also mattered to her country. And that's something that I wanted to consider too. Is like, is this advocacy actually relevant to your country? Because it might be relevant to the world, but you're not Miss World right now. So I need to see that you can develop advocacies that impact in a positive way your country and highlight a problem that's within your country. So I really like that Dominican Republic not only picked an advocacy that was meaningful to her, but to her country as well. Then we had France, who talked about her I believe it was that she had a kind of like a tumor in her stomach as a child, and around the age of 16 or 17, she had to get it removed. And, she was talking about how she overcame that, and it led to her being a nurse, and then it led to her advocacy as well. What I loved about France was, first and foremost, she wasn't necessarily on my radar, but what I really truly appreciated about France was that France seemed to genuinely care about what she was talking about. And I think that she connected and tied a personal experience to her advocacy. And although you don't necessarily have to experience the thing that you're advocating for, right? If you're really passionate about something, but you haven't actually gone through it, right? It's okay to still advocate for it, because if it's something that you're passionate about, that is more important. So just going through an experience doesn't automatically mean that it should be your advocacy. So anyway, sorry, there was my dog that was barking. What I was thinking about France is that it's not just the fact that it was personal to her, but it seemed to also really be something that she took seriously. I mean, to go and be a nurse and make a career based off this experience means to me that you truly care about this, that you truly are passionate about it, and it's something that you really want to advocate for. So I think it was beyond just Miss World that she was passionate when pertaining to this subject. So I really appreciated that for France. Moving on for that, we had South Africa. So South Africa was also really precious to me. She advocated for it with a host of different volunteer or nonprofit organizations, I believe for orphans specifically. And you could tell that she really had a bond with the children. There were some videos where their advocacy was surrounding children and it was about children, but then I didn't really see a connection with the kids. It seemed to be like they told the kids on film, like, hey, go ahead and just pose for me. I didn't like that. I really just felt like that was very scripted. When it came to... All right, sorry, Reynas, there's a bunch of little kids screaming like extra loud. Someone... Get their parents. I'm about to knock on the doors and be like, get your children out of the way. You're ruining my video. No, I'm just kidding. Kids will be kids. Okay, so as I was trying to say about South Africa, what I really noticed about her video and what I really appreciated is that in the videos themselves, you could kind of tell that these kids were familiar with who she was. She wasn't necessarily a stranger. And yes, you can tell a kid for the purpose of a video, like, okay, you're going to go run up to her and give her a big hug, like, like you're really happy to see her. But I'm pretty sure that that was a genuine reaction. I'm pretty sure that those kids were genuinely reacting to Miss South Africa showing up to their orphanage, and it seemed like this is not her first time interacting with these kids and that they were familiar with her. So I really appreciated South Africa, and I really was impressed with the genuosity of her video. So yeah. Then we had none other than Somalia. So Somalia talked about a topic that I've heard about before. There's a really big Somali population where I live in the US. So I actually grew up with a lot of Somalis, and they have actually talked about this topic before that Miss Somalia is speaking to. So I really felt like, again, it came down to the relevancy of what she was advocating for. What Miss Somalia is talking about is really relevant to her country, but beyond being relevant to her country, it's also something that she experienced. And again, you don't have to advocate for something that you have experienced, but it does help, right? And it seems like years later, she understood the impact and the implications that it's had on her. And so she wants to go ahead and she wants to, I'm not laughing at the topic, I'm laughing because I almost fell. She wants to also advocate for it and make a change in her country and make sure that the young girls and the young future women of Somalia don't have to face what she had to face growing up. And I really felt like it was heartfelt and well done by Miss Somalia. Also, on a side note, mashallah, she is gorgeous. Nonetheless, let's move on to Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico talked about her cousin. I don't remember his name. I think it was like a Jolito or something was his name. First of all, her cousin is so adorable, and her bond with her cousin was so adorable. You could tell that Miss Puerto Rico really had a genuine understanding of the community that is faced with Down syndrome and of their needs. And I really appreciated that. I really appreciated that Miss Puerto Rico didn't just say, "Oh, here's my cousin. They have Down syndrome, and so I'm advocating for Down." You could tell that she was actually involved with the community of and the members who Puerto Rico who have Down syndrome. And I really also like that she was able to highlight a expert in the field who works with those members of the Puerto Rican community who have Down syndrome as well. So I thought it was beautiful and well done. Beyond Puerto Rico, I also had Peru. So Peru also worked with members who have disabilities in Peru. I thought it was such a precious but simple video as well. It was really just highlighting the simple ways in which we can all make an impact and create safe spaces for those members of our society who have a disability. And I really feel like the best thing about Miss Peru's video was its accessibility. It was a very accessible, and I think that you can set up a similar type of environment for members of disabilities in any community worldwide. So I like that it was something that was pertinent to her and to Peru and Peruvians, but it could also be applied and encouraged to other members of society around the world. So good job, Peru, for picking something that is tangible for other people to kind of implement within their own communities. I had also Martinique. So Martinique to me talked about depression. I believe it was like about mental health in general, but I think specifically about depression in her society and how it's very taboo. It's not talked about. It's not something that is really encouraged to be spoken upon. And I think this is something that we see in a lot of communities around the world. I mean, I know as an Indian myself, in the Indian community, a lot of times mental health and talking about mental health can be kind of taboo, or it's not really discussed very much, but millions of people go through it. Billions of people go through it, to be honest, worldwide. So I really like that Martinique, although her video wasn't robust and it wasn't videos of her, pretending to work with the community members that she's speaking to. She just sat down and she really talked about how much she loved, bubbles. She really talked about how much she loved her community. There's a lot of stuff going on in this video today, huh, you guys? Of course, as soon as I decided to film a video, my mom decided she wants to start blowing bubbles for our dog. So sorry about that. But anyways, it seemed like Martinique was really genuine about what she was talking about. And I really liked that she just kind of sat down. It really kind of set her apart from a lot of the contestants. She wasn't trying to make this whole scripted video. It was just her, the camera, and what she had to say. And I appreciated that. I had Indonesia as well. So actually, I really loved Indonesia's video. The only thing about Indonesia's video is that I felt a little bit scripted, a little bit, a little scripted, but it still felt genuine. I just wish that she was talking maybe from her heart and not from a script, which is what it seemed like she was doing. But other than that, one little critique, I will say I thought that her video was honestly splendid. I almost put her in my top 3 only because I really liked what she was talking about. I really liked how she highlighted this very small city. It was on a small scale, but I think what she was speaking to with the issue of basically safe and clean water and accessibility to safe and clean water for communities is probably an issue that's not faced in just that small community in Indonesia that she helped bring spring water to, but it's probably an issue that is faced amongst many communities, not just in Indonesia, but also worldwide. I mean, I can tell you for a fact that there is so many places in India, and my grandfather's village in India actually had this problem and it was on the news, where they were facing unsafe and unclean drinking water, and they weren't able to access good, safe, clean drinking water. So I really feel like the issue of clean and safe and accessible drinking water and just water to have to bathe in and etc. is a really big deal. I mean, so many people get cholera from having unsafe drinking water around the world. So I really feel like what Indonesia highlighted was not only impactful because she did show the direct impact it had on this small community, which was so beautiful. I was so happy to see that these mothers and these young children and the fathers and everyone, just the entire community, was able to get better water for them to drink, to clean, to cook with, whatever. But I also feel like this is definitely an advocacy that Miss Indonesia can carry worldwide, even if she doesn't get the crown. It's just something that I think we really need it within the world, especially in areas that are not as privileged. So yeah. All right, you guys, those were the girls who were not in my top, that were not, oh, wait. I lied. There's still one more person. Yeah. So Miss Sri Lanka. Miss Sri Lanka, I won't say a lot about her. I'll just say this much. I really was shocked and surprised by Miss Sri Lanka's video. She really was articulate in what she was saying, and I really appreciated her advocacy as well. I thought she just was really, again, articulate in what she said. And I actually feel like Sri Lanka could be a bigger threat, excuse me, than I initially maybe saw coming into the competition. So yeah. All right, now to the top three girls, to the top three contestants that I think, I need to get up off these stairs, that I think are going to really perform well, or sorry, not perform well, but who I think did perform well in the Beauty with a Purpose video. So these three girls to me were great. I'll tell you my third place, and then my last two girls are tied. They're just tied. So there's no first place. I guess they're tied for first place when it comes to Beauty with a Purpose video. I also want to make a disclaimer that my video is not biased. So before you all try to say that I'm biased, blah, 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 I'm not. Yes, they are all from Asia, but I don't pick who produces a good quality video that speaks to me. And my opinions are just that. They're opinions, they're subjective. What touches you may be different from what touches me because we all have different lived experiences. And really the Beauty with a Purpose challenge is kind of an emotional pool, right? So if you've undergone an experience that one of the girls are advocating for, then you might have more relation to that video and that advocacy. And so it might rank higher for you personally. And that's okay. Just put it in your comments below. You don't have to come at me. You can just put in the comments below who you enjoyed. Okay. So for third place, or second place, I guess, since first place is tied, for second place is none other than Opal Suchata, Thailand. And I'm so sorry I did not say the girls' names in this video. I just have not had time, like I said. So I'm just going through it. Moving forward, I'll do my best to incorporate the girls' names because they definitely deserve to be recognized for all their hard work. So I know I usually do. I'm sorry today I was unable to do that, but moving forward, I'll be better, okay? But I do know Opal's name because she was at Miss Universe, so I'm kind of familiar with her already. So Opal Suchata did a really great job with her breast advocacy video. We have seen Opal talk about this since before Miss Universe. And I'm not being biased, but I will say when a girl does come back and we've seen them compete for a while, we know that advocacy is genuine. She's been talking about this since her first try at Miss Universe Thailand a few years ago. So I know for a fact that this is not new, but rather true to Opal and who she is and the advocacies that she wants to kind of raise awareness for. And I think that just further strengthens her argument and her video. You could tell within her video that it was well produced, but it was well produced because she was the one who really was bringing the genuine factor into the entire production of it all. She was so genuine with her advocacy. I love the way in which she speaks to the issues at hand. I love that they brought a physician in to give their opinion. All in all, it was just a really great video. I was super thoroughly impressed. And the fact that she only became Miss World Thailand really recently, I don't know if they've been planning this behind the scenes and they already have these videos kind of like, I don't know. I'm just surprised they were able to kind of string these videos together in such a short amount of time. So kudos to the TPN Global and to the Miss World Thailand team because you guys really did a great job of getting all this stuff together in such a short time. So yeah. Okay. My top two tied, I guess, for first place are none other than the Philippines' Krishna Gravitas and India's Nandini Gupta. So yes, you guys, Nandini and Krishna's videos touched me so dearly. I don't know which one I'm going to start with first. Oh, sorry, my dog is like hacking up. Let's just start with let's start with India and then we'll go into the Philippines. Let's start with Philippines and then we'll go into India. So I also have familiarity already with Krishna Gravitas from the Philippines, and I knew that her advocacy is not something that is new. She has talked about this since Miss Universe Philippines back in 2022, I think is when she competed. So to me, it was another thing that strengthened her argument, and also it made me know that this is really something that she cares about. But furthermore, the video was just so beautiful, and I like that Krishna, the version of Krishna that we were introduced to is very high glam, very va va voom, very almost Miss Grand, Miss Universe, JKN era type of prototype. But the transformation that Krishna Gravitas has undergone to really fit the mold of Miss World is truly spectacular. I mean, I will not lie. I was one of the people who were kind of like, I don't know. Like, can Krishna make it? Can she fit the mold of a Miss World? Can she make those adjustments? Or will she always be kind of seen as that Miss Grand, that Miss Universe type of prototype? But I'm glad to say that Krishna Gravitas and your team, from the styling to the way that you present yourself, to the amount of improvement that you have made within your ability to talk, like your speech, it's incredible. And the advocacy was so genuine. It really just touched me a lot, to be honest. Seeing those kids and just seeing her relation to it, seeing her connection to it, seeing her tell her own story, but not making it the highlight and taking away from the advocacy and the children. That to me was beautiful. I mean, she highlighted this really small area of Baguio, and I have been to Baguio before, like in person. I've been to the Philippines. And to see this community in Baguio get the advocacy, get the education, and get the beautiful school that they deserve was truly just heart touching. And I don't know, I could be because I've been to this community and just seeing it receive the amount of love and support that Krishna has provided and the Miss World Philippines team has provided to it. Maybe it's just because of that it's really heart touching. But I was just, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm just truly impressed. Anyone who has been following Krishna Gravitas since her introduction to most of us at Miss Universe to now, I mean, you will be truly impressed by the way that they have turned around Krishna, and they've been able to kind of really just shape shift her, I guess you could say, into the perfect Miss World. And not just her team, but herself. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication. She went from Miss Universe to Miss Charm to Miss World. I was truly worried about her ability to kind of fit that Miss World mold, and I think that she has done such a good job. So, yeah, great job, Krishna. Great job to the Miss World Philippines team, to the stylist. Shout out to all of them. They just did an incredible job. So, yeah. All right. So now let's talk about India's Nandini Gupta. Wow, wow, wow. This video, I almost cried. And again, maybe it is because I have a connection to India. Maybe it is because I have a love for my people. I have a love for what Nandini was advocating for. And I know how much that it's not talked about and is taboo in India. But Nandini hit every component that a Miss World should hit. I don't even know. This is beyond Miss World. This was like a genuine advocacy. I'm not familiar with Nandini Gupta beyond the Miss World India platform, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure what she was doing beforehand. I'm not super aware. Again, I've been so busy, so I have not had a time to get familiar with the contestants, including Miss World India. So when I watched this Beauty with a Purpose video, this was new to me. I wasn't aware of what her advocacy really was because I have not been really keeping up to date, to be honest. So I learned a lot about these girls through doing research for this challenge. And wow, Miss Gupta, you have done such an extraordinary job. First of all, thank you for bringing, this advocacy to the Bharat. I'm really, really, really grateful that you are highlighting the community, the disabled community, and those who maybe have different ailments that don't allow them to have an accessible life in India. I really was touched, first of all, by her uncle, but secondly, I was touched by her app. When she started to talk about how she took her advocacy further than just a voice, but she actually applied it with software engineering students who are passionate as well. And she brought in the community that they were trying to help into the production of this application to make it accessible to all those in need. I was impressed. I mean, her video was just so impressive, you guys. Like, Reynas, I'm not gonna lie, I was not necessarily sure about Nandini. And now, like Krishna, I'm like, I don't even know. Like, between those two girls, I know it's early to say, between those two girls, yeah, it's a tough competition. I'm really just impressed with India. I'm not just impressed, I'm proud. I'm proud of Nandini. I'm proud of what she's done. She's been Miss World India for, I think, almost 2 years now. And the preparation shows. It was great. Good job to, the Miss World India team. Good job to Nandini Gupta. And thank you for taking the advocacy seriously and not just making it something that was a word, not just making it an emotional video. It wasn't just an emotional video. It wasn't just a video to make us feel like sad for this underrepresented community. It was an empowering video. It was an educational video. It showed us the needs of this community and what we really should be doing to make things, even just apps on our phone, more accessible to those around us. I mean, she really highlighted so many different communities, but it didn't feel disingenuous at any moment. So thank you for that. It was beautiful. So you guys, those are my beauty with a purpose standouts, my highlights. I'm sorry it's not super in depth. This is what I can do for now. There's not going to be a lot of editing to this video. Just the parts where people are making noise, I'll edit that out. Otherwise, this is going to be the video for today. Let me know in the comments down below who were your standouts, who you think I missed. It's okay if you think I missed somebody. Don't yell at me. Just say it in the comments below. Tell me who were your favorites. And beyond just all of that, tell me what videos you want to see from me when it comes to Miss World, because I genuinely am a little bit always confused and lost when it comes to Miss World. Hence why my videos are always lacking. But I really want to try. Oh my God. Okay. I really want to try, without breaking my ankle, to make more videos about Miss World. So if you guys can help me out, right? Because I always say, a lot of you guys think because I say I'm a pageant analyst that I'm supposed to be like the holy grail expert. No, pageant analyst is someone who got on a microphone and a camera, like I am now, and started making videos about pageantry. That's all a pageant analyst is. Anyone who says otherwise is a liar. But yeah, I love you guys so much. And again, if you're new to my channel and you want to join the Reyna family, which is what I call my subscribers, hit the subscribe button down below and you will become a Reyna. Anything else? Yeah. Comment down below your favorites. Go ahead and like this video. Share it to your friends who are Miss World fanatics. And I am excited to talk more about Miss World. I really, really, really want to get into it. I really feel like the contestants this year are so strong and so beautiful and just so everything. So help me get into it by telling me what to cover. Okay. Bye, Reynas.